Media in the workroom. Texas Tech has left the locker room. Red Raiders should be here soon. Our announcements again: silence cell phones when you're in the interview room. No flash photography. No video of any kind. Transcripts can be found on the web at ncaa.com/transcripts. And we have updated satellite coordinates, Galaxy 17 KU band, transponder 17C, 12044.5 is horizontal, the symbol rate is 7.2, and the FEC is 5/6. When you ask your question, please wait for the microphone, and please state name and affiliation. Thank you. We would like to welcome the Texas Tech Red Raiders to the interview room. Coach Chris Beard, 3 student athletes tonight, Zaire Smith, Naeem Stevenson, and Keenan Evans. Coach, we'll call on you first. Congratulations on your victory tonight.
Well, first of all, I just want to congratulate Stephen F. Austin for a great season. They were everything we thought they would be and more. Kyle Keller is a great coach. They got good players. You know, they got a program is what they have. You go back to Danny Casper and certainly Brad Underwood, and now Kyle's taking it to another level. You know, they just forced us into so many things and took away things, but I just wanted to congratulate them on a great season. And I know Kyle's just getting started building the program there. But for our guys, we knew we were going to have to play great to win this game because we knew how good Stephen F. Austin was. So I'm really pleased for our players that we, advanced to the second round, beating a team that we had nothing but respect for.
Okay, Coach, thank you. Questions for the 3 guys. We'll come back for Coach Beard at the end. I think the first question is going to be toward the back here on your right.
For Keenan, it's Mike Fingers, San Antonio Express News. On the alley-oop that you threw to Zaire in the first half that he 360'd, it looked like you almost changed your mind before you threw it to him. Can you kind of take through what you were seeing and what you saw from him?
I actually was about to throw it to Zach at first, but then the defender went to Zach, and then Zaire had back cut, so I just threw it to him, and he did his thing.
Okay, guys, we'll go on your left toward the front.
Carlos Silva with the Lubbock Avalanche Journal. Keenan, I know you had a lot of emotion after that game. What was it like just to finally get that first NCAA tournament win and just really cement or at least start a legacy here as a senior?
It felt great. Last time we were here, we didn't get that job done, and for us to get the first one out of the way is a really good feeling, and I feel like all we can do is improve the rest of the way.
Okay, we'll stay here on the left.
Jared Johnson with InsideTheRedRaiders.com. Zaire, on that dunk, on that 360 alley-oop, what was going through your mind? Kind of take us through that.
I was just about to catch it, but I just adjusted, and I just 360. I surprised myself.
It's good coaching.
Okay, we'll go here on the extreme right by the curtain.
Paul Tubbs, KLBK. Keenan, just talk a little bit about first half versus second half. It seems to have been a trend all season long. It seems like you catch your second wind, or just kind of the difference between those 2 halves for you.
Honestly, don't know. I guess I just get aggressive later in the game, and it's something that I have to do for my team. I got to get to the line, make plays, and just try to bring us to a win. So as the time winds down, I got to get more aggressive and more aggressive.
Let's move back to the left side toward the front.
Will McKay with Red Raider Sports. Keenan, you guys took 10 threes in the first half, but you only take 6 in the second half. How did you feel like you guys adjusted and just started driving it more on them as the game went on?
We had to go demand the foul. We had to be aggressive, and that's one of our things. We only got, probably not even 10 free throws in the first half. And, one of our big deals is get to the free throw line. And not only were we jacking up threes in the first half, we were missing threes when we were shooting them. So it was an adjustment to, draw the ball more.
Let's go to the right in the middle.
Kirk Bowles from the Austin American-Statesman. Keenan, was that about as intense and frenetic a game as you played in, and how physically and mentally exhausting was that?
Definitely. I wasn't ready for it to end, and it was like Coach said, they were everything we saw in film and watching them play. So it was very intense, very emotional, and I'm just glad we came out with the win.
Okay, let's go to the extreme left.
Choice Woodman, Double T 97.3. Zaire, what was it like playing in front of essentially a home crowd while playing in the NCAA tournament?
It was a blessing to play here. Got the fans behind us, and that motivated me and gave me energy to play harder.
On the front row here on the right.
Talk about guys, Phil Woodall, KPR, and Amarillo. Talk about they came out in the second half and really started. I think they hit the first 6 shots in the second half. What defensive adjustments did y'all make at that point to cut them down the rest of the way?
You want all 3 or just one in particular?
Whoever wants to. Naeem's our defensive.
Okay, Naeem.
Captain here. I'd like to hear what he has to say about this.
Just being aggressive. That's my motto right there, just being aggressive on both ends of the floors. We had to play better one-on-one defense, and that's how we got it done.
Okay, up front here on the left side.
Naeem, just obviously it was a game of runs, especially at the end of that one. Keenan had a nice little run there, but you had a nice little steal that allowed him to get that 4th point and really kind of propelled you. I guess just to the defense that you played, what did you feel you did differently or the whole team did differently to just kind of get you guys on that run and just kind of sustain possessions?
Just being aggressive, and I'm not gonna lie, I was trying to get it back. I just missed a layup. I was like, yeah, let me get that back. So, just heart. So that's what we all had.
Other questions for the 3 guys? Okay, we'll let you go back to the locker room with your SID Matt Dunaway for more interviews, one-on-ones. Congratulations on your victory tonight, big game. And we will see you tomorrow for the interviews and look forward to Saturday. So thank you for coming. Questions for Coach Beard now. Coach, here on this right side on the inside aisle.
Chris, how much do you think it changed the complexion of the game when Bogues had leg cramps or whatever, and I think Holyfield got 4 fouls? Do you think that changed them at all?
Yeah, I'm sure from Kyle's perspective, when you lose one of your better players and he was playing so aggressive, absolutely. I think, foul trouble in the first half kind of put us in the same situation. But, I would think that Kyle would tell you that affected him because he's a really good player that was playing so aggressive. We were game planning for him every time out.
Move to Coach's left on the aisle.
Ryan Willett, ESPN San Antonio. Coach, you were running the high horn set a lot in the second half. What were you trying to get out of that?
The basket. No, Stephen F. Austin plays pressure defense. We put it in the same category as West Virginia in our conference or South Carolina in our non-conference schedule. So it's important to get the ball into play. And, you can do that individually, a guy V-cutting or in and out or back cutting, but then sometimes you got to get some X's and O's involved to just make the first pass. And, that horn set was good to us in the second half.
Coach, let's go up front here on this right side.
Coach, you've already talked about the respect that you had for SFA, but when you look at these seedings, they're definitely not a 14 seed, are they?
No, they're a really good team. Look, they passed the eye test. They make sure I get this right. I've watched so much film, but they beat LSU. They lose to Missouri by 1 point. They've won true road games at places like Louisiana Tech. They had a great run in their conference, which to me, being a Texas guy, I understand how good the Southland Conference is and how good the coaching is, and it's probably the most underrated conference, good basketball and good coaches. And then they do what's, to me, the toughest thing to do in all of sports, and that's to win your conference tournament after you've had a great season. And I think it's more pressure-filled than Game 7 in the NBA Finals or the Super Bowl. I've never participated in those, but when I was at Little Rock, we had a special season, and it gets down to that championship game of your conference tournament, and you have to win it to advance, and it's a different level of pressure and stress. So just the fact that Stephen F. Austin did that, that's all I needed to know personally about how tough this team was. So I think they're a really good basketball team, and we're just pleased to win the game. Got a lot of respect for their players and their coach.
Let's go over to the coach's left side toward the front.
Coach, I know you mentioned this would be a game of runs. You guys had that run at the end with the defensive stop, and then Zaire had that nice little V-cut kind of in there to get the dunk. What did you kind of see from your team just knowing that they had to kind of grit their way to a grinded-out victory?
Yeah, I was really proud of that ending, Carlos. That's something we've been working on for 2 years. Finish was our motto. Last year when our season ended sooner than any of us would have wanted, we regrouped, and we just decided that the thing's got to be finished because we were so close last year. So finishing doesn't just mean close games. It means finishing the semester academically, or finishing in the weight room, your last couple of reps, or finishing in the individual workouts. Basically just a mindset to finish. Like in football, the whole fourth quarter deal, we wanted to finish. And tonight, on the biggest stage, the biggest game of the season, I thought we did a great job finishing the game late. And we had different players do it. Keenan Evans is a great player, and everything he gets, he deserves. But we're a team. And tonight, whether it's the Justin Gray pass or the Brandon Francis corner three or the Zach Smith block, it's just great to see our plan, a team win where everybody embraces the idea of finishing. I thought we were a confident team late, and I thought our coaching staff, did a great job keeping it positive as well.
Extreme left, underneath the TV light.
Hey, Coach Beard, Kevin John, CBS 19 in Tyler. You guys didn't take your first lead of the second half till around 3 minutes left in there. And obviously you busted it open the last few minutes. Can you just explain what SFA was doing that was so efficient defensively throughout the whole second half, and what was just so, I guess, an annoyance of them just hanging around and being able to be productive?
Yes, sir. I think I can answer that. They're one of the best defensive teams in college basketball. I mean, they really are. Like, their turnover margin, I think, is number one. I know we were telling our guys all week long they caused more turnovers or the differentials more than West Virginia. That got our guys' attention. I can step up there and talk all night, and I don't know if they listen or not, but when I say, hey, these guys make you turn it over like West Virginia, they listen. And so, yeah, I just think it was them playing their game. They've been doing that all year, whether it be their non-conference wins, their successful run through the Southland Conference, winning a championship in the conference tournament. They're just a good defensive team. They do it in different ways. They'll trap, they'll deny, they press, and then above all, it's just discipline. It's a Kyle Keller team. They're not going to make mistakes. They're hard, they're tough. We're pleased to get this win. I would agree with the first question. That's not a 14 seed. That's one of the best teams, I think, in college basketball this year.
We will stay here on the left toward the front.
Coach, Brandon hadn't hit a couple threes here in the last game. He'd been missing some open shots. And that three he hit tonight, how big was that, not just for him, but for the momentum? And it seems like that's really when y'all kind of grabbed it.
Yeah, first I think we had to talk about the pass. They trapped the ball out of Keenan's hands. I think we made the extra, then we made the extra. The spacing was good. I was really pleased tonight. I think we had 25 baskets and we have 14 assists. So 14 assists on 25 baskets on 14 passes. That's the way we want to play. That's balance. That's a little bit of motion, but more important, just spacing. And then Brandon, Brandon's worked hard to earn the right to make that shot. Brandon's a guy in our 300 club. He makes 300 every day, 7 days a week. I think you got to give our student managers and our graduate assistants, the guys that put in the long hours for him, rebounding the ball. But that's a team thing when a guy makes a shot like that. But I was proud of Brandon Francis.
Closing questions now for Coach Beard. Here on the right, inside aisle.
Chris, as long as Keenan's been around here in college and suffering through turf toe and ankle sprains and stuff, how much do you feel like he kind of epitomizes college basketball?
I think he's definitely a part of it, and I would put Carter from West Virginia and Graham from Kansas. That's no disrespect to Graham. He's a great player. But I think Keenan would have been the Big 12 Player of the Year. I believe that. If I didn't believe that, then, I shouldn't be coaching at Texas Tech. But, this guy's a special player, and I think his story is he's not a McDonald's All-American. He's not even a top 100 guy, and he just gets to school and he starts working. And I think you got to give Tubby Smith and his staff with Joe and Vince and Pooh and those guys credit too. They laid the foundation, and then I think you got to give our staff some credit. And then above all, you got to give Keenan Evans credit. This guy has willed himself into one of the best players in college basketball. So I think, the one and done and the great players, that's a part of college basketball. Those guys deserve it because they're so talented. But I think the Keenan Evans story, the Javon Carter story, the Devontae Graham story are just as special. These are guys that just, continue to get better. And I just love coaching him. I just don't want it to end. I just want to coach that guy another day. It's like when you go to a good movie and, it's getting towards the end, but you're loving the movie so much you want it to go a little bit farther. Or, you got a good plate of enchiladas and you're looking at it, you only got 2 bites left, but it's so good, you turn it into 3 bites. I want it to keep lasting. I'm so glad that we get to go back to the hotel and I get to coach these guys another day. Can't wait till tomorrow to prepare, and then certainly Saturday a chance to play again. But guys like Keenan make this job great, and this is all about the players, and we got good players.
We'll take one last question for Coach right here on the left.
Coach, what did you think about the beginning of the game and your team's mindset and mentality in the early portion of the game?
I thought our young guys looked a little bit starstruck on this stage. That's understandable. Thought our veterans did a good job kind of calming them down. We had good productive timeouts. Patience is not one of my strengths. Pretty emotional guy, but I thought that the coaching staff did a great job with me to kind of prepare me. Long game, let's hang in there. So it wasn't our best of starts, but you got to give Stephen F. Austin credit. I've said it many times. I hate the guy that sits up here and talks about we didn't play well, and never talks about the opponent. Like, we didn't start the game well because Stephen F. Austin's a really good team, and they took some things away from us. But we did calm down, and to be in the game at halftime, that's all you ask for in this tournament. It's a long game.
All right, Coach. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We are joined now by the Lumberjacks from Stephen F. Austin, Coach Kyle Keller. His student athletes with us are Shannon Bogues and Ivan Kinnett. Coach, we'll look to you first for an opening comment.
I wish we could have ended the game at halftime, obviously, but the game's 40 minutes. I give Texas Tech a tremendous amount of credit. Their coach, Chris Beard, their team embodies, his spirit and toughness, and they impose their will, obviously, the last 10 minutes or so of the game. And my guys try. They'll always try. But we just didn't have enough tonight, and, we just wasn't our night.
Thank you, Coach. Questions now for the two guys. We'll come back for Coach Keller at the end. First will be on your left in the middle.
Hey, Kevin John, CBS 19 and Tyler. Question is for you, Shannon. Obviously, we saw you go out with an injury briefly in the second half. Can you just talk a little bit about that and how that affected you offensively for the rest of the game?
I just started cramping a little bit, and then after that, I couldn't really get back in the groove. But it was just a cramp, really.
Okay, we'll follow up.
Ivan, question for you. In the first half, you really got them going offensively, making some big shots. Can you just kind of explain, you being a senior and being out there, taking that leadership role and leading them offensively, how you were able to kind of get the momentum going in the first half?
Well, I was just trying to find open spots for my guys. Being a senior, I just wanted to go out there and just give it all I got and just play as hard as I could. And if I see someone open, I'm going to pass them the ball. And guys like Shannon over here can just score however they want. So.
Other questions for the two guys? Okay, we'll move over to the right.
Ivan, John Kruger from the Daily Sentinel. Second half, you guys came out and scored 3 quick threes. What was the feeling at that point as far as the momentum? And then talk a little bit about the last 5 minutes, kind of what was going on during those 5 minutes.
You like both to respond? Okay, Ivan.
Yeah, when we were hitting those threes, we've seen them before this year. I felt like we were about to start pulling away. They looked kind of defeated, but every time we made a run, they just responded and made a run back. That's credits to them. They're a tough team. And then in the last 5 minutes, we just were having a tough time scoring, and some things didn't go our way.
Move back to the left in the middle.
Keith Leventhal, CBS 19, for both you guys. The foul trouble the team seemed to be in, not trouble until late in the game, but just a lot of fouls seemed to be accumulating for you guys. Did that affect what you were trying to do offensively through the better part of the second half?
We'll let Shannon go first.
You said that the foul, I'm sorry.
Just the foul trouble, the foul situation you guys were, not you specifically, but the team was in. Did that kind of affect what you guys wanted to do?
You're having different guys coming in and out of the game. Playing different guys in different spots, with Ty and TJ being out because of their foul situation. Like playing key Barnes at 4 some and that kind of stuff. Having to adjust to that. Ivan probably know better.
We should go to Ivan.
Yeah, it definitely affected what we do on offense. It was when you're used to certain guys playing a lot of minutes and being in certain spots, and then you don't have them on the court out there, and when it matters, it's kind of hard. You got to figure it out on the fly. So it was different, but we just tried to get through it, and it was obviously tough not having those guys out there with us.
Okay. Other questions for Shannon or Ivan? No hands? Okay, guys, we'll let you go back to the locker room with your SID, Charlie Hurley. Congratulations on a terrific season. Thanks for coming up on the stage, and thank you very much. We'll go to questions now for Coach Keller.
There you go. Take it. Yeah.
Who wants to go first for Coach? Coach will go into the back by the TV riser.
Coach Keller, Michael Coleman.
What's up, Michael?
How you doing?
man?
Congratulations on an outstanding season.
Thanks.
Could you talk? I noticed the disparity in points in the paint. Tech versus SFA was not in your favor. Could you address that?
Well, that's been our strength all season, and obviously we wanted to score points in the paint. They make it really hard the way they play defense to get it in there. And I thought we did a good job at times of getting it in there. We weren't very successful at scoring in it. You know, they clog it up on the weak side, and you know, to their credit, they make you throw it out and shoot perimeter shots, and they put bodies in front of you. And you know, they blocked a bunch. I don't know how many shots they blocked tonight, but it seemed like every time we went and got to the rim, at least in the second half, they were really challenged. And but that's how we've won games this year, is scoring points in the paint. And our inability to score points in the paint, to me, is that, and not scoring points off our steals and turnovers tonight is the reason why we didn't win the game.
Okay, Coach, we'll go to the middle on the left side.
Hey, Coach Keller. Kevin John, CBS 19. You had said earlier, you know, you wish the game could have ended at halftime. You guys were pretty much dominant through the majority of the game and until the last couple of minutes there. Can you just talk about what the difference was in those last few minutes than what you guys did the first 30-some minutes of the game?
Well, Evans, obviously, as senior point guard, dominated the second half. I mean, he had 4 points at half, and he gets 19 the second half. You know, I've got Ty Charles as an assistant coach in his last game over there with me, who had guarded him a lot of the night. We had to switch him off because of what you guys just said. He was in foul trouble. So I needed him on the court because he's, you know, he's our senior leader and dominates a lot of different things for us. Offensively, he makes things run. Even though he didn't score many points tonight, he makes everything smooth for us. And he started the game guarding him and not having – and that's no – I mean, Evans, there's a reason why he's all Big 12. There's a reason why he's on a lot of draft picks. I mean, he's a heck of a player. I mean, excuse me. You know, I think it's a 6-point game maybe, and he goes right through Aaron Augustin, and T.J. Holyfield just splits the ball screen, just imposed his will and got through it when the game was on the line. I mean, that's what pros do. That's what seniors do. We didn't have that happen for us tonight.
Excuse me. Other questions for Coach? Okay, we'll continue on in the middle here on the coach's left.
Keith Leventhal, CBS 19. Coach Beard said you guys were one of the best teams in the country. He said you definitely weren't a 14 seed. Was that something that, not bulletin board material?
Nice.
Do you guys feel like that you really were able, I mean, Texas Tech's a 3 seed, you were really able to play with them and maybe were underseeded?
I don't know. You know, there's 68 teams that enter the tournament. Seeding doesn't have, to me, it doesn't have anything to do with it. I mean, I coached on a number 1 seed in the tournament, so, and we didn't make the Final Four. So to me, seeds don't matter. You know, when the game starts, the game starts, and that's what we try to convince our kids. Our kids didn't. They were just. They got to play against some dudes they knew. You know, Ty knew some guys on their team, and you know, the millennials today, they don't even watch college basketball. They didn't know. A lot of our guys didn't even know who those cats were because they don't watch the game. You know, they're on their phone and doing that kind of stuff. I hate to say it, but you know, as much as you or I or anybody in here watches the games, they don't, and that, or the NBA. They might watch the slam dunk contest in February on TNT or whatever, but that's about the extent of it. Hey, thanks a lot. I might need this. Or something stronger.
Again in the middle, on the left side, coach's left.
Kevin John, CBS 19. Coach Keller, you know, obviously it wasn't the outcome that you wanted, but just looking back on the season, what do you take away from this particular team? And as you do walk away and reflect on it, what stands out to you about this squad?
You know, it's a hard time to really collect my thoughts. You know, I thought we had 3 great seniors who came together. A lot of tears in the locker room after the game because it's how much invested they had in our university. The thing I think that they did was we've been living off everybody else that had been before us. The players and coaches that had come before us. I think my staff and the current players on our team kind of created our own, you know, a little bit of our own legacy. And so I'm proud that I look at a lot of championship trophies and nets in my office that other people have won. and it's great for recruiting, and I love that. But to be honest with you, I'm glad we get to have one of our own in there finally, and I'm glad our guys we're able to see this. This is about probably I'd never have counted between 30 and 40 NCAA tournament games I've been a part of, and I'm glad they got to experience that for a lot of these kids.
Closing questions now for Coach Keller. We'll swing back to the right.
Josh Peter with USA Today.
No pop quiz, huh?
How do you know? No. How do you know about millennial behavior, and how might that behavior impact college basketball?
Well, I think it does a lot. If you're going to be around kids today, you better read it. You better study it. I mean, I've got an 8-year-old and an 11-year-old, and I've got the greatest wife and kids I could ever imagine. I'm the most blessed dude you've ever met. Trust me. I shouldn't be here today. But if I don't read it and study it and learn and try to figure these kids out, I have no chance to coach them, because the way I was taught as a child was, hey, you're going to eat what's on your plate. If not, you're going to sit here. I had to sit at the kitchen table one Saturday afternoon because I didn't want to eat green beans or salmon patties. So we have a lot of green beans on our team meals, and I tell that story to our guys. But you have to adjust. You better learn to give and some take with these kids, I think. But you have to be stubborn enough to impose your will on them to get them to come together as a team and give them a lot of love, I think. Sometimes it's not very much fun. They don't like me very much sometimes.
Any other questions for Coach Keller? No hands? All right, Coach, we'll let you go.
Thank you, guys.
Again, congratulations on a great year.
Thanks.
Thanks for being with us.